Tommy from Synthesizer. I'm here on the booth of Modor. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
It was quite a long time of Modor after the release of the NF1 and the desktop one.
Yeah, it's of course Modor is more or less a one-man company, so it took me quite some time to develop a brand new thing. We made a sidestep with a few modular modules, but now we have our brand new second flagship, let's say, the DR-2 drum machine.
And you are a company from Belgium, right?
From Belgium, yeah. We are based in Antwerp, Belgium.
So you see, it's a solo company. It's how many people are working for Modor?
Well, I am the one that's doing the building of the machine and designing the machine. Okay. But then I have other people who help a bit with distribution, with promotion, and.
So building your device in-house.
Yeah, of course. The PCB circuit boards, they are made automatically in these days by another Belgian company. We have the metal cases that are built by another Belgian company, but then the final putting everything together is done by me indeed.
Is this was it your first company this already, or have expertise in other synth companies or so?
No, it was my first. It is my first company. It was like always, yeah, a dream of doing something myself, and then I had the hobbies. I was working with electronics, and I was making a bit of electronic music, and then one day everything fell together, and I had some like, I need to go build synthesizers.
And I have the impression you have more the relationship to digital than analog, right? Or...
Yeah, well, I have, let's say, a general engineering degree, but not in electronics, so that makes that I'm not a good designer of analog electronics. I am more a programmer than.
And I think your machines have very interesting aesthetics. It's always white.
Yeah.
Is it something from your taste, or is it something you want to see it like this, or?
It was a bit at the time. Yeah, it has an element of a lucky accident. But it was also, yeah, we were trying to make a design for the NF1 first. That's 5 years ago I'm talking about now. With the typical arrangement of the knobs, and then there was always a knob too much that didn't fit in anywhere. Until I had the idea of working with the oblique lines and the big and small knobs, and then everything fell together, and it was like, hey, this is a good design, let's do this.
Yeah, they stand out of other machines with what design, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And for Superbooth 21, already before, you released quite calm a new drum machine.
Yeah, it was actually launched in November last year, so it's almost 10 months ago. But it's the first trade show, of course, where it's visible, so it gets a bit more attention now. The last 10 months, yeah, I was more busy building them than actually promoting them. Yeah.
And what is it?
The DR-2 is a digital drum machine. That means digital synthesis. It's not about sampling. There's no sampling memory in it. Yeah, it has 6 instruments, and for every instrument you can pick one of 15 at this moment synthesis models.
15?
Yeah, 15. There are 3 bass drums, there are 3 snare drum models, there are 3 cymbal models, a hi-hat, a ride and a crash, and then a few other ones.
You take in this the sound, these algorithms. Is this more vintage inspired or more new ones? So what are your intent there?
Both. Let's say a few models are indeed inspired by looking up the electronic schematics of an old vintage machine and looking, maybe we have to do this or that to synthesize something that sounds like that. Other ones are really taking a sample of an instrument that I want to have in the machine, and then looking which are the most important harmonics or inharmonics in the sound, and then synthesizing it that way. Yeah.
So the DR-2 can sound a bit vintage, or a bit like 808, 909, and so on?
Yeah, it's of course far from an 808 or 909 copy, but some models will sound more or less the same. Yeah.
Talking about the sequencer, is it more XOX or more like a 808 or 909, or you take a different approach for the sequencing?
Well, that's the start approach, let's say. The 16 buttons are there. It's a step sequencer, definitely. Then already you see that there are 32 LEDs above the 16 buttons. They are for the little 30-second notes in between. Maybe I should give a little example with this instrument. That's 16-step sequencing, and that's the 30-second note in between, for example.
So you use some sub-steps, or not ratcheting it a bit.
Yeah. Then what is there more? Let's go to the bass drum here. Wait a second, do it this way. For example, you can program reverses. You see, when the sequencer meets this reverse event, then the envelope generation, it starts to run backwards, so the pitch goes back up, the volume goes back up. That's what it does. Now what can you do more? You can program breaks that immediately break a certain note. There are flams. You know, the double hits. And then the last one that needs a little trick, it needs shift flam or tuplets. That's a number of consequent drum hits that you can use like some kind of an echo, but also for upcoming drum rolls, for example, to program in the step sequencer.
So you can not record parameters in a sequence, or is this something it supports?
No, you mean more or less, I think, the parameter lock thing. No, there's no one-on-one substitution for it. That's not in there. What we do have here, for example, is a alpha beta or AB variation. Yeah, I will do it on the hi-hats here. We programmed that in to be able to put closed and open hi-hats in one single instrument. You don't need two instruments for just that. But you can also use it on any other parameter. So you see, that's the alpha version. That's the beta version. We did it by keeping beta down and turning up the decay, so the decay is longer. But if you want to do this, for example, on the pitch of a bass drum, you can. So this way you can also make variations. Yeah.
So you can make so this works instant in a performance. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Can you can you use this variation to step an entire set, or is it only per sound? So you're taking out the complete 6 voices at the same time. Is it something?
Yeah, you can install a separate one for each instrument. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds really nice. So it, as a summary, it has 6 channels, DSP-powered drum engines. So it's not analog. So they are kind of emulations and new ideas from you.
Yeah, and the fact that there's both the digital synthesis that makes place for models that go, that can go very broad in sound range, and then on the sequencer there are more than just 16 steps. That makes that you can go very far. There's a broad range of possibilities in the
And
machine.
I see a sequencer which is a bit more classic and with some cool tricks and creative features. It sounds really cool, so I hope a lot that we'll get more and more producers in the studios. What is the price of it?
Oh, it's 1,750 euros. That's all in retail price.
Okay, and it's already available?
Yes, it's available. We are already selling it since almost 10 months. And at the moment we are still building it, and at this moment we don't have any supply problems yet. So it should keep running for quite some time.
Okay. I wish you then a good Superbooth 21. It's really cool to see a new Modor product, because your NF1 was super cool, digital synth. So I wish you good luck with this. Big thanks for this interview. So I wish you good Superbooth 21 and hope to see you again very soon in our next Synth Anatomy videos here from the Superbooth 21. Bye.
Thank you.